Today's Clash of Clans video brings you some exciting attacks at both Town Hall 11 and Town Hall 12. We have a variety of strategies on display which all achieve the 3 stars. We have 3 attacks from Town Hall 11 and 3 attacks from Town Hall 12. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alrighty guys, getting into this first attack, we have a beautiful example of the Electron strategy, which we are going to explain to you now. So Beowulf coming in here with the Battle Blimp, and he has a few things in mind here that he wants to get. If we pause for a second, you will see that we actually took down an air defense in this area straight away. We're going to take the multi-inferno. Now most of the time, you'd also be after the enemy queen. She's actually lurking in this area, but we don't go after her, and you'll see in a second why that is. We clone the loons, and basically we have a sweeper pointing across to the right, and a sweeper pointing across to the left. We are able to sneak that battle blimp in behind it, which is always a bonus. You don't have to worry about the balloons coming out of the blimp that you clone going down to the sweeper. Now just look at what value we actually achieve here. So the cloned loons go down, and we've actually managed to take out the wizard tower at the bottom here, both of the sweepers, which is obviously a bonus. We took out an expo, multi-inferno, air defense, so much value there. We didn't take the queen. Now you're going to see why now, and that is because you basically want to send your heroes in a suicide method with the Electron strategy. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe for all of my Clash of Clans videos, and if you hit the notification bell, it will mean you're notified when any of my videos go live and any of my live streams. So as you can see, the queen is just kind of clearing these top buildings. King creates a funnel at this side, but that allows us to send the queen into this compartment, and she can reach the enemy queen from there. So I think this was a very good example of just thinking outside the box, which is what you have to do in Clash at this top level. So instead of taking the Electro Dragon to take out the queen in this area and not getting as much value, the Sui hero method is used to take out that queen. Now at first you can see the queen takes out one of the ice golems. That's awful in terms of the CC, but we actually have our own ice golem over there to help freeze the Tesla and defenses as our Lalo comes in. Now obviously we are coming straight into the Giga Tesla here. We don't have that sweeper to contend with, so the Grand Warden's ability needs to be used in that area. As the balloons come through, you can see we have a heal spell, which is always nice if you have a massive group of balloons. And as you can see on this one, we only had a very tight area that we were bringing them in from. It's not like we could be hugely surgical, so we know they are going to clump up, and they actually had 1, 2, 3, about 4 splash damage defenses to get through after that. So it's always nice to have that heal just to bring them back up to full health if that is the case. Getting down to the end of it, you can see that we have more than enough loons to get this one done. So a fantastic 3-star attack on this one. Gets a little bit close down to that air defense actually, but as you can see, the minions and lava pups there to save the day in terms of cleanup. The ice golem lived on until the very end. Let's move down to a Town Hall 11 attack. Now let's go right to the bottom of the Town Hall 11s, and we'll actually meet in the middle because this was a brilliant minor attack. And again, the variety in the game right now is very, very good in my opinion. Be sure to leave a like on this video if you are enjoying it. It does help out very much in terms of getting the videos out there. And if you're interested in joining Crunch Time in our journey here with the Clash Cup League or in the Clan War Leagues as we apply for the next season, be sure to check out my Discord server. The link is down in the description in order to join us. Maxed out Town Hall 11 and 12s. So on this one, you can see we have the queen coming in at the bottom of the base here in terms of a queen charge. So she's taken out this area, and we're going to use the stone slammer. I'd left the zoomed out view there just so you could see the minions kind of coming in to snipe off the town hall. That is basically Very good for pathing of the miners, but also this was a no-dip war, so it's always good to secure that 2-star as well. Again, the battle blimp able to very easily break us 2 layers in. Now, in terms of, we could have used the wall wrecker siege machine, we could have tried to wall break in or use a jump, but the stone slammer was able to very effectively do that. And actually, when you're thinking of miners, you need to have this thin layer of defenses. So you can see our king, coming in at the top of the base here. That's going to aim to take out all of these trash buildings so the miners can focus through the base itself. Obviously, the queen stepping up and continuing to do that. Now you can see as the miners come through and they're focusing on all of the defenses here, why it's then important to take out these buildings so they redirect down towards these defenses here. Now, in terms of the buildings on the inside of the base as well, there's only the clan castle, which is not a defense and a higher HP building. All of the storages, all of the trash buildings, they're all on the outside of the base, which is ideal for miners because you want them focusing on the defenses. You can see that they're moving through at a very quick speed here, and the Grand Warden's ability was nicely used to tank through the wizard tower, multi-inferno, and there was a bomb tower there as well. So 3 splash damages coming in onto the miners. Now, getting down to the end of it, you can see we get a nice split. We have miners coming across to the right, the left, some coming forward. That is very good because it can help with timing, especially if you've used a queen charge. Again, another bonus of having the minions on that side. Do not forget about that. There's a couple of high HP buildings that you can put an archer or a minion onto throughout the 3 minutes. They will get that down. And massive shout out for swagging that heal spell as well on that attack. Moving on up to the next Town Hall 12. The next Town Hall 12 we have was overkill. I'm telling you guys, it was crazy. Many of you might have caught it live on my stream as well. Be sure to drop in the comments if you were there. Always cool to see those that support me across multiple videos and streams. But let's get into this one. Kevin coming in with the drag bat at Town Hall 12. Now, it's interesting here because you will see he's entering into a sweeper. But again, I've mentioned this before, look at actually what it's doing. It pushes the dragons back, but they're immediately able to come back forward. It's not like it's going to change their pathing. They're coming directly into it. And actually, since we have more than enough dragons for this, we use the Grand Warden's ability getting through that town hall. It actually didn't do too much there. Meanwhile, we have the troops on the outside of the base creating the funnel. So essentially, we had the king on one side, queen on the other, and a couple of dragons are down there as well. Coming down to the end of it here, we do have the ice golem over on this right hand side to distract the wizard tower, which allows the bats to take out the wizard tower. But also look at what it's done. It's actually took both of the ice golems across to the side of the map, meaning that our main force here, as they're trying to take down the defenses, the loons and the dragons, they're not getting frozen in the middle of the base. So very good base recognition there in order to do that. Look at our ice golem. Walking right across the base. That is crazy to try and get to the next defense. But again, you can see now that's what happens. The dragons just get frozen, and whilst it doesn't really matter coming down to the end of it, if they had have been frozen in the middle of the base, it would have caused an issue most definitely. But due to getting the dragons in quickly here as well, it did mean that we weren't pushed for time essentially moving towards the end. Let's actually show you another minor attack at Town Hall 11. Then I believe the next one is a Dragloon example at Town Hall 11. So again, look what's happening here. P90 always getting it done for us here at crunch time. He's got minions across this side. Now again, that's going to do multiple things. One, it's going to help with time, because if you're using a queen charge, you've got to expect that you might start to run low on time. It's going to help with pathing of the miners in terms of trying to keep them in the base. And again, with it being a no-dip war, yes, getting the town hall is kind of something you want to try and secure as well. But the funnel has been created at the bottom here. The queen is going to come through, and as you can see, the king is already starting to make a funnel here. So we're aiming to come in this area. That's why we've cut off the area here, and as you can see, there it is. Wall wrecker comes through and is going to allow us access into that southern compartment. King is going to take down the enemy king, and then there we go, continues to move up to the top. From this point, the queen is going into the base. There's no way she's coming down this way to follow the king. He's already created that funnel. So job is a good one at this point. That initial funnel is created, the CC troops come out. Obviously we're able to take that down relatively easy. Ice Golem though in that CC always is a little bit of an issue, just adds to time if nothing else. On this live stream actually from this war, we seen a fail which was about 2 seconds late, and it was all because there was 2 Ice Golems in the CC. Now the miners come through. Notice the P.E.K.K.A on the outside of the base there. P90 recognizing that actually he could use a P.E.K.K.A to take out all of these trash buildings and keep the miners in the center. Again, look at that minion over on the town hall. It's not quite down yet, but the whole time it's just been sitting there sniping on that town hall, and it's basically going to mean the miners redirect down to the defenses. They're not going to get caught up on that town hall and going over there. You want them on the defenses. It sounds like common sense, but just think about that pathing a little bit more. So many times I am guilty of it as well. You can create that initial funnel for the miners and you think, great, I'll bring the miners in from this side, but you don't then consider the secondary funnel, if you will, in terms of keeping the trash buildings out to keep the miners in. I hope that makes sense. So do consider that. Can you snipe off a couple initially with a few little troops? And also bear in mind the P.E.K.K.A that was on the other side. Again, with all of my videos, we're not trying to say that you have to copy the strategy bit by bit, but hopefully bits of the strategy. You know, for example, the P.E.K.K.A, you might think when you're scouting a base and trying to think of your attack, actually that's a good idea. I could use a P.E.K.K.A myself here. That's the idea. Now again, shout out to BRG, got this one done live and it was overkill. Absolute overkill. Have a watch of this one, guys. He's using the Bow Witch at Town Hall 12. Now, yes, it's not fully upgraded in terms of the walls and things you can see, but you know, still getting it done. No easy feat. The defenses are definitely upgraded, and as you can see, the queen charge coming in from the north is going to get a few things. First of all, takes down the king. I mean, that's helpful. With a Bow Witch, it's going to fight back, but takes out 2 of the wizard towers, and again creating a bit of a path here whereby you know the bowlers aren't going to have to shoot up to this area, and controlling your bowlers is something which is quite difficult but very important. Again, P.E.K.K.A into the meta coming across that side. I've said it a lot recently in videos. Many people will put like 2 giants, 2 wizards, you know, in order to try and create that funnel. Is a P.E.K.K.A going to get you more value? The P.E.K.K.A has actually stepped up, which is hard to do with other troops, and took out the buildings here. However, the funnel at the bottom is set. The bowlers and witches have done their job to allow the main bowlers through. Now we do have them dreaded ice golems in the CC. Again, you can see they freeze our troops initially here, but it's not too much of an issue, although we had a lot of damage. We then use the heal spell right after this in order to just keep all of them bowlers alive. Now as we come down through the middle of the base here, you can see the bowlers get amazing bounce value there, taking out a lot of the splash damages, and again just look at them boulders coming through, wiping out defense after defense, and he gets a good split here. BRG gets a good group going up to the top. It's not just the odd bowler, and a good group coming down to the bottom, meaning that they can protect each other. When you get a little bit of a split and you have like 2 or 3 bowlers move off, it's not really that good because it takes them a while to take down the defenses. What works with the bowler witch is that they actually protect themselves. So having that king and P.E.K.K.A up there with them few bowlers meant they could actually handle that top section. Meanwhile, down the bottom, look at the amount of bowlers left over. I mean, look at, coming down to the end of this base, we have the queen with the healers, with the ability, so many bowlers, 2 ice golems, a P.E.K.K.A, the king. I mean, it was overkill. BRG crushed this base, and massive shout out to him getting it done live. We haven't actually mentioned the war. GG to Joff for getting the victory on this one. And let's move down to the final attack for you, base number 14 by Noah. So yes, Joff got it done on this one. We did very well at Town Hall 10 and 12, just struggled at Town Hall 11, and with it being a no dip war, we couldn't clean up any of the 11s with our 12s, obviously. So it's an interesting concept, the no dip wars, isn't it? Because it really means that every Town Hall level is important, and you know, even the lowest Town Hall level, Town Hall 10s, have equally as high of a role to play as the Town Hall 12s. If not more of a role, because there was more of them. However, into this final one, it is the drag bat, and as you can see, Queen on one side, taking out that area, King on the other. Again, think about where your King and Queen can be of most value. The King could reach the Teslas here, Queen could shoot over the wall to defences, so she's obviously better placed up there. And yeah, I mean, sometimes you can argue either side, just get it done, guys. We're bringing the bats into this bottom area so they can take the air defence, the single inferno, got the freeze on the wizard tower, and that was a really interesting place to use it, because when you first looked at the base, it wasn't my initial idea. I was thinking he might have used the bats up the top here, but at the bottom, although the bats eventually fade out to these two wizard towers, it was the better place to put it, because you protected the air defense, you protected the single inferno, and basically the dragons did the job initially, then the bats cleared out a lot of it for the dragons to then take out the end. And it's not like every aspect of your attack you have to protect. So again, the bats on this one were essentially suicide bats to control the pathing of the dragons and keep them focusing up here, keep them away from that single, and basically make sure we had enough firepower to take them final wizard towers down. So that is going to wrap it up for this one, guys. I hope you have enjoyed it. Again, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe for all of my Clash of Clans videos. The button is right next to me. But until next time, peace out.